Let's try to learn the constraint layout by developing a simple login page. So I will remove the button first. So my login page, we're going to have a text field at the top. So I add the constraint to the layout, and then left and right constraint to make it in the center. The text I will say as my cafe app, give a space, and then make it a little bit bigger. Next, I'm going to need to have the edit text for the email and password for user to log in or sign up. So I will select the text from the palette, which you can see we have the default template edit text for the email and password. So I will just drag and drop. So for the email, I will just add the constraint, refer to the text, and then left and right constraint to make it center. Maybe it's not a good idea. I will add the constraint to the layout, and then for the top and bottom. So the edit text is going to be the center of the UI. If this is how we adjust the size of the view. We have the wrap content, and then we have the mesh constraint. When we're using the mesh constraint, that means the layout will take the space of the screen. So if you don't like your edit text is in the center, you can adjust the bias using the window attribute. So this is the vertical bias. You can go a little bit up or a little bit down. For my case, I will just keep it in the center. Next, I'm going to drag and drop another edit text, which is password. For the password, I will add the constraint refer to the edit text email, and then left and right refer to the constraint out. Again, the width I would like is as mesh constraint. Let's do some little touch up here. The edit text, I'm going to add some hint. Just type email. The string, the hint should be email. And then for the password is going to be password. Let's try to run the user interface on the emulator to check whether it is in the position that we want or not. So after running it, basically the UI is work exactly what you want. If you have a little bit question about the email type and the password type, actually is about the input keyboard of the edit text. For example, the email, when we click it, you can see the design of the keyboard is you have the S sign. For the password, when you click it, you also have a different layout for the keyboard, which include the number. And also, when using the password import type, when you key in something, the edit text will automatically help you to hide the information of the password. So let's go back to the Android Studio to continue design our simple login page. So remember the password, I'm at the constraint according to the email. If I move the email edit text, the password edit text also will move according to the email. So let's set back to the 50 first. For this user interface, I'm going to have a 3 simple button. So I will drag and drop 3 simple button in the design first. The first one will be the login. Second one is sign up. The third maybe is the forget password. I will show you how you can arrange these three buttons horizontally evenly. So let's select these three buttons first. You can select from the UI or you can select from the component tree. You're holding the shift button and then select one by one. After select three buttons, you can go to this button, this align button, and then you align the button at the bottom edge first. And then you can select the horizontally vector. This function is refer to one of the feature in the constraint layout, which is contour linear group with a change. So basically they have four modes. The first mode is spread, second is the spread inside, and the third one is the weight, which I'm going to talk about it later, and the fourth one is pack. So when it pack, it will bring all the view together. When it's a spread, it will distribute the view equally, and when the value is spread inside, that means the most left hand side and right hand side of the view will stick to the edge of the layout, and then only start to arrange each distributively. So how to change it to the spread inside or the pack? You can select one of the button you already create the change, and then you have a little icon here. Then you can click it to change the mode. So I would like the button is going to this way, which is distribute evenly. And then I would like the button is at the bottom of the user interface. So I have to arrange it again by selecting it using the shift key. Align at the bottom. Okay, I will run my user interface to see it's working or not. So basically it's work like what we want. Okay. The other thing I can tell you is about the margin. For example, the password and the email, we don't have any space between these two edit text, which I would like to add some space between these. So select your password, and then you can select the margin from this attribute window. I will click it as 16 to give some space between these two edit text. Let's try and run it to see is it working or not. Okay, it's worked exactly like what we want. Another feature I want to show you is the mesh constraint that can be set in the width and height, which it can adjust the size of the view. If I select the sign up button and then I select the mesh constraint, you can see the sign up button will take the allocated space after calculate the space that needed for the login button and the forget password. And then the empty space that we are left over, it will taken by the sign up button. It is much more flexible than the mesh parent value. For example, if inside the linear layout, if you change the width to the mesh parent, and then this view will take all the spaces inside the parent group. So it is not the thing what we actually want. Thus, I like the mesh constraint feature in the constraint layout, which they will consider all the spaces that is needed by other view, only then take the leftover spaces for the sign up button. Okay, thank you very much. In the next video, I will going to show you some of the features inside the constraint layout which might be useful for you to create the user interface.